the Northwest Stories, and we back with another fucking episode.
Another episode. This is like number 4 or 5, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a while.
Of what do we call this show? What is this?
Let's talk about
Let's
it.
talk about it. Hashtag Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
And man, we're back from a fat hiatus.
It's been a while, man. You know, we had Christmas, we had New Year's, we had Thanksgiving, we had
Halloween,
all of that in between.
Birthdays,
tons of birthdays. You know what I'm saying? Got like 17 kids,
stress,
man.
Anxiety, and depression.
And depression is mad real when the snow comes, man.
Yeah. So for all y'all, I mean, you guys are we're directing this towards people that are from here, but you know how it gets when, you know, summertime's over and the days all of a sudden are fucking 8 hours long.
Yep.
And you know, you wake up, it's dark. You get out of work, it's dark.
It's dark.
And you know what I'm saying? You just
lose that extra push.
Yeah, you just lose it. And but we pushed through it.
Fucking zzz.
And as you can see, the sun is shining on the kids
here today.
And so we were like, you know what? Let's fucking do this shit. It's time to go.
It's time.
You want to touch on anything else about why we put a pause on the game?
Nah, man. Mad Cats was hating.
Yo.
You know what I'm saying? We had hater mail so heavy, man.
Yo.
Like, Cats was sending me beats. I couldn't find the beats. We had so much hate mail, beat. Like, and I'm not saying, yo, I stopped for them.
Nah.
But, like,
I stopped for them.
I stopped for them. Word.
Nah, basically, here's the thing, man. Like, we've been trying to do this shit, and we could have kept going with the reviews and all that shit, and we're still gonna do some actual interviews with some people, and we got some shit lined up. It's about to be dope.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, a lot of shit, I think what's gonna happen is there's gonna be a little bit more of the shit coming down the pipeline from other areas.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
And it's alright.
But you can see the timeline on YouTube. You know who started this shit.
You know we was there.
So, shout out to everybody who wants to, you know, be a part of something like this. And we ain't hating on anybody that wants to do their own thing.
Fuck with us though, man.
Yeah, fuck with us though.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Because
this was my man's idea.
And we just, you know what I'm saying, trying to do what y'all trying to do, what we trying to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so, but without further ado, fuck it, this is Let's Talk About It. So we're going to talk about what?
We're going to talk about some music straight from the Pacific Northwest. Some really dope cats. They've gone by a few names, but right now I think they're sticking with the D.1, which would stand for
Down Since Day One.
And the dollar sign because, like, you know, I guess they getting money. You know what I'm saying? They getting that money.
You got to make that money.
And
which is, you know, it's kind of dope because going back to my original interview, Down Since Day One was, you know, part of our crew. Shout out to Freeze and Zeke and DJ Rockefeller, aka Ozrock.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean,
and they didn't even know. I remember after that interview came out, one of the homies that's down with them hit me and was like, man, I didn't even know y'all had another DSD1.
But you know, throughout the years, there's been plenty of DSD1s, and even looking them up on YouTube, there's
right
a couple
now
more.
You can find a couple.
I mean, Down Since Day One is a universal, you know, term that you use for people that have been down since day one. So, is this a particular project that we're doing, or are we just skimming through some tracks?
Right now they got 2 brand new that I think came out just this year.
Okay,
so
2019.
we're gonna touch on these, and
who's all in Down Since Day One? I mean, there's probably a lot more. Man. Who can we name? Who can we just
talk about? Fucking like your guys' shit. It was a big ass crew. I mean. Can't even. So
it's just a big ass. It's one of those things where every song just says Down Since Day One, and it might be a couple of different.
Exactly.
Some Wu-Tang
type of shit.
You know, banging like, on wax shit.
They're all part of the collective, but it's just like who's ever on these tracks at a particular moment.
Well, without further ado, y'all, if you want to find these guys, you're gonna have to look up D $, D1 on SoundCloud, and they got a lot of music on here. So we're just gonna go into this first one called Last One's Left. Come on, give it a little more juice.
Yeah, a little something.
My routine's hereditary. Popping bottles at the cemetery, talking to the dead as if they never buried. Don't believe me, they talk back if you listen close. It ain't the Henny or this weed that'll let us smoke. Memories of my bro stay feeding my ghost. Social media don't know what it's really like to post. Looking over your shoulder, boy, ain't no fucking joke. I'm blessed though, cause I made it to 24. 3 babies got me thinking about more, but I only attract hoes. Yeah, I'm a bastard for sure. I like to get it for the low, and it's about getting dope. Lust for the fast life, finally tainted my soul.
But first of all, let's just talk about.
I want to break down a couple of the bars.
Oh, there's some bars in there. I want to talk about the beat first.
Okay, first
talk about the music.
That's what we hear first.
Yeah, and it's a good production. It's clean. I mean, it seems to be all played out type shit. You know, like somebody's, you know, hitting some keys and shit. But it's. I guess it's, you know, their vibe is it's supposed to sound, you know, kind of the classic West Coast type shit, which is dope because I think that they've probably been doing it the whole time, but it's kind of making a resurgence. But I'm saying they've probably been doing it like that the whole time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're not necessarily going, oh, let's do some old school sound and shit. They're just doing what they do.
Right. Yeah.
And they're good at it. You know, so that, I mean, but it sounds dope. I like it. It's got some soul, some feel to it. And then the dude comes in and he ain't even talking no bullshit off the top.
Yeah.
My routine's hereditary. Popping bottles at the cemetery, talking to the dead as if they never been.
So I like that. I mean, that first line. This is, what do you say? Popping bottles at the cemetery, talking to the dead like they was never buried.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
my routine's hereditary.
I mean, you know these guys, so why don't you just give them a little back? You know what I'm saying? No, don't go too deep, too crazy. But I mean, it's affiliated. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but it could be about anything. You know, I mean, at this point, you know how many, you know, grandparents and uncles and aunts have passed away.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? I mean, few of them
I guess
causes,
in that aspect that you can definitely take that. It's just like it's automatically comes off on some G shit, so that's what I think of at first. But I guess if you're just taking it for what it's worth, anybody could be mourning and speaking to somebody who's not with us anymore. Right. So that's a good point. I fuck with that. Let's see what he got next.
Don't believe me, they talk back if you listen close. It ain't the Henny or this weed that'll let us smoke. Memories of my.
So he follows it up with, believe me, they talk back if you listen close. It ain't the Henny or the weed that I love to smoke. So he's like saying, I know I'm under the influence, but I know I ain't tripping neither.
Not tripping, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So he's you know, what he's talking about is just, I guess, like that, almost that ancestral, like, you know, I'm getting guidance from the ones that have passed before me. So that, I mean, that's dope.
My bro stay feeding my ghost. Social media don't know what it's really like to post. Looking over your shoulder, boy, ain't no fucking joke.
I like that.
Social media don't know what it's really like to post.
Because, I mean, I think a lot of people wouldn't even really get that, even though his next line really clears it up.
Yeah.
But, you know, because people think of post like posting shit online, but he's talking about posting on, you know, on the block and the spot and really being out there like what's happening around me.
Yeah, looking over your shoulder.
Yeah, so that was filthy. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess you got to be like from a neighborhood or from this type of setting to even know what some of this language means. It's a time
because, you know, like exactly when nowadays, you know, 18 and under, you say post and they're gonna go, Facebook, Instagram, you know, but like you see the older homies like, I'm just posted. Like, oh, okay.
Or what you about to do? I'm about to just post.
Right, exactly. They know exactly what you're talking about. The kids are like, what are you gonna post?
What is he posting? But to post their ass up.
I'm blessed though, cause I made it to 24. 3 babies got me thinking about more, but I only
hold on. This motherfucker sounds like hella old. He's only 24.
I think I think if I'm not mistaken, he's got to be around my age, at least. I mean, I could be wrong though, but I always thought
he sounds like a grown ass man. That's his voice.
I mean, that's remember Maniac?
Yeah,
that's Maniac.
Oh, okay. Let's see. All right, let's let it ride for a minute.
Cozy, I'm a bastard for sure. I like to get it for the low, and it's about getting dope. Lust for the fast life, finally tainted my soul. But I ain't gone though. We the last ones left for the best of dying breed. You will be left with no regrets. It was just sex, bitch, get off me. And nigga, who's next?
about that chorus?
The chorus, I feel like is just like that. You know, I know that there's they could have made it really sound like on some studio, like like I don't want to say anything about the singer, but like put an excellent singer in there. But I think they wanted to kind of keep it on some street, like, you know, back in the day on
the singer wasn't
like it was whoever the homegirl was in the studio at the time. Yeah. You know, I think that's probably actually what happened too. Like
I think the idea of the chorus is dope, and it could have been done better. It's just a little bit off, but it does. You're right. It does go back to that like fucking early 90s gangster shit where you threw a singer in there that wasn't necessarily that dope. A little bit off key, but we're still fucking with it.
That's that hustle and flow. Like
it's a dope chorus though. It's a little bit off key, whatever. We're not perfect, you know what I mean? And maybe they wanted it to be that way, but all in all, I understand the idea.
Y'all the right point game, wait to set and stay dry in it. Figure paradise is the hood, right till I rise in it. Hold the block for the ones like I stay alive in it. They not snitching, because I did it. So high past skies, high boy, ain't no limit. Bad boy on death row, too big, notorious thuggin'. Had his love to stake him out and play, out came the warriors bustin'. First thing I ever smoked was marijuana. Second thing smoking was that Glock, that's on my mama. The third lesson, moving packs, hustle up for show. Shoot.
The first thing he ever smoked was marijuana.
Second thing I ever smoked was the Glock.
The Glock, and that's on my mama.
On the mama.
Oh man.
But you know what, this guy right here, because he's so fast, like you gotta take it in a little bit, maybe once or twice. Yeah. Saying a lot in there. But like, and he's one of the younger cats too, the youngest cats.
Yo, let my dog in, yo.
Yo, what up? Be the dog over there making noise.
But yeah.
But like we're gonna have to run it back, but he said some dope shit.
Let's bring him back a little bit.
Killed, built to survive in it. Y'all the right point game, wait to set and stay dry in it.
Cause I mean, yeah, even that line right there, Seattle rain,
pouring game,
something about trying to stay dry in it.
Yeah.
You know, so he's got the, you know, more of a fast talking, you know, spitting game, some gamulation, some sugar free type where you really do got to go back and soak it up.
Paradise is the hood, right till I rise in it. Hold the block for the ones like I stay alive in it. They not snitching, because I did it. So high past skies, high boy, ain't no limit. Bad boy on death row, too big, notorious thuggin'.
Bring it back.
Yeah, he says so.
So high past skies, high boy, ain't no limit. Bad boy on death row, too big, notorious thuggin'.
Bad boy on death row, too big, notorious thuggin'.
That was dope.
I just like to take him outside and play. I came with Warriors Bustin'. Remember from
the
Warriors movie?
Come out and play. Yeah. That was actually a line. That was kind of clever.
Yeah.
Cause he too big, like Tupac and Big.
Yeah. He said a bad boy on death row. So Tupac and Big.
On death row.
I'm notorious big thuggin'. Or something.
Yeah. Hey. I see you, player.
Stake him out and play, out came the warriors bustin'. First thing I ever smoked was marijuana. Second thing smoking was that Glock, that's on my mama. The third lesson, moving packs, hustle up for show. Shooting cracks, money off the floor, God bless the strike. Folk on the wall with all of y'all against the odds. Before you go against the squad, make amends with God. No turning back, return with the Mac. Bring my piece of water, murder's at. Dopers from the block, serving the set. Some black shit, and you been a snitch, stop with all that cop shit. Loose lips, sink ships, and you a rat, nigga. Heard your paperwork long and that's facts, nigga. All the dirty nigga did, I should've been gone. All the homies I put on, now they dead gone. Trade from 70206, bitch. What your life's like, is you really with the shit? Is you riding with the gang, I don't really know. Niggas fence hoppers, sound like a hoe. I'm sipping Henny, count beans, only fuck niggas. Been show love, with no return, I don't trust niggas. It's instead of box. Free my brothers locked, we the last ones left. We all we got, it's some stutter box. Free my brothers locked, we the last ones left. We all we got.
Nice breakdown. That's like that radio.
Yeah.
That's smooth. That was a good choice.
See, I ain't got time for bitches. Gotta keep my mind on my motherfucking business. Grind until I die, since living ain't free. So when they come for me, not guilty is my plea. I ain't got time for bitches. Gotta keep my mind on my motherfucking business. Grind until I die, since living ain't free. So when they come for me, not guilty is my plea. You know? Ain't no time for bitches, man.
Hey, that used to be, we had that actually quite a bit at times, and that's always a good.
That's the best. That's the
best way
ending.
to take it out. Is everybody in the spot just you know what I'm saying, we out here or whatever.
Hey, pass the lighter.
Yeah. Yo, Washington's go to wifey. I think for me, I like the first dude the best. They all came with it, and they all brought their own little flavor to it. I just like his approach.
Well, he's talking from like an older cat's point of view.
Yeah.
He's already on the other side. Like you can hear the young and the other two where they're still kind of hungry to go to kind of put that lifestyle out there and live that lifestyle where the older cat, he's already like he's past that point.
Yeah.
He's probably on some grown man shit, just trying to hold down.
Unless he really is 24.
I mean,
which young OG. But I mean, overall, I think it's dope. I mean, I'm just a fan of the production altogether. I mean, the keys are dope. The drums are hitting. You can't really go wrong. They've done all the elements that you need in there. You got the breakdown with the high filter. You come back with the outro, the party type of scene. Everybody's in the room.
How'd you feel about the last verse though?
Well, let's backtrack.
My whole life, I been on some black shit. And you been a snitch, stop with all that cop shit. Loose lips, sink ships, and you a rat, nigga. Heard your paperwork long and that's facts, nigga. All the dirty nigga did, I should've been gone. All the homies I put on, now they dead gone. Try phone 70206, bitch. What your life like? Is you really with the shit? Is you riding with the gang? I don't really know. Niggas fence hoppers, something like a hoe. I'm sipping Henny, count bennies, only fuck niggas. Been show love with no return. I don't trust niggas. It's some stutter box. Free my brothers locked. We the last ones left. We all we got. It's some stutter box. Free my brothers locked. We the last ones left. We all we got.
I mean, it was
a clean.
It was a clean verse. It wasn't anything in there that stood out hella. We're like, ooh, that was a bar. But I mean, he played his position and he came through. Like it was.
You could hear everything he was talking
about.
Yeah,
it was clean.
It was real clear.
And it was, it fit what the song is supposed to be.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like he had anything really clever in there or anything that was like, ooh, like I said, that was a bar like the other dude with how he flipped a little death row,
right.
Theme or whatever,
right.
The death row bad boy theme, nothing like that. Nothing too introspective like the first dude, talking to the dead and you can hear him, like nothing like that. But I mean, it ended it cool.
Right.
Brought it to the bridge and took it to the outro cool. So who was all up in there? You know who all they were?
Yeah, the first one was Maniac.
So we got Maniac.
You got Bricks, second.
Bricks.
And then Stutterbox on the third verse.
Okay, so that's the three on there.
And I think it was Braze on the bridge.
Braze on the bridge. Oh, that little okay, the little in between thing.
I'm not sure who's the singer though.
Okay, so let's just go to the next one, and I think this is actually dope because this next song is 2 minutes and 6 seconds.
Oh,
I wonder if they did that on purpose.
Shout out to the 206.
Yo, 20, you know what I'm saying? I got the 253 206. You know what I mean? I had to put 5 fingers and a thumb to make 6. All right, this one's called Kick Knowledge.
Kick Knowledge.
Trying to do is kick knowledge. Suckers over there, they ain't never been solid. I'm sliding with the drum and the thumb. Up and down to D.1 since you only live once. Chilling at a house party, me and my brother. Seen one of them suckers over there with his homie. Thinking to myself, yeah, we won't.
Hey,
come on, I was just trying to start gigging.
That's dope, man. I mean,
the fucking
just to even fucking, that kind of funk with the horns and then. Now that's even more classic than the last one.
right?
In terms of production style, because people don't really do that shit no more. I mean, we were just listening to those old school trust beats that he sent me, and I feel like without the too much of the funk aspect, like that's what he was going for.
Yeah.
Like some more of a up vibe, you know, party vibe.
Happy.
Happy.
That shit that makes you feel good. You know, that's why you just can't help but.
Which is hella funny though, actually, because I remember talking to, you know, shout out to my son King.
You guys, shout out to my man's, my nephew.
You guys will see him soon. He'll be around in like June, but anyway, he plays all this shit. Like he's always, every time I see him, he's like, let me get on
the SOB, RBE.
Well, not even that. He's kind of past that, but like, you know, he's big into that Bay Area type shit. So I mean, he listens to Messy Marv, Mozzie. Yeah. I mean, all these guys, Filthy Rich, fucking who's that dude? Am Pacino,
yeah.
Shit like that. And like sometimes I'm listening to it. And I remember telling him before, I'm like, yeah, King, this shit is actually it's good. Like I'm not hating on it at all. But fuck, can they do one song that's kind of like happy? This shit's depressing. Like no wonder why.
I think they kind of got the same kind of gray skies and shit out there in the Bay.
Well, yeah, but still though, they got more sun than we do.
Yeah,
but nonetheless, even if you're from that, sometimes you want to feel good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, and my point to him was like, you know, no wonder why a lot of times you feel like shit. You're bumping this shit all day. But see, because you can do it though. I guess is what my point was. Is you can do.
To put up an argument. I mean, there's tons of feel good songs from Mac Dre, from Messy Marv.
Okay, maybe those guys. Maybe those guys.
Messy Marv did nothing. The whole albums with kind of like songs that you just cruise around to on Alki type of shit. You know.
I'm not well versed in this area of music, you guys. So I'm not speaking.
Even the old school, like they had Players Ball, like
no. Yeah. Stuff, I know old, but I'm saying this newer shit, like the newer Bay Area shit. It's
well, they're
dope.
drug out though. That's the thing right now. Everybody's down. Everybody's on the down.
Everybody's on the
lean and the perky.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, I might have flipped the game though. I double
make a fucking Fanta fountain.
Nah, but anyway, I guess. Just to bring it around to this, I was going to say that, guys, it can be done. Yeah, y'all can do some up-tempo, some dope sound of shit, because this is it right here. Let's go back. I want to hear that intro again. I mean, you already want to, you know what I mean? Yeah, the horns already hit you.
All I'm trying to do is kick knowledge. Suckers over there, they ain't never been solid. I'm flying with the drum and the thumb. Up and down since day one, since you only live once. Chillin' at a house party, me and my buddy. Seen one of them suckers over there with his homie. Thinking to myself, yeah, we won't be here long. I'm peeping the scene, seeing who I'ma steal on. Suckers were walking towards the sun in his mouth. So we pushed through the crowd and knocked him down.
They going real. They taking it back. Hold on, I gotta
tell myself, yeah, we won't be here long. I'm peeping the scene, seeing who I'ma steal on.
Yeah. See some suckers over there. He said, yeah, I'm thinking to myself, yeah, we won't be here long. Peeping the scene, seeing who I'm still on.
Okay, so he's talking about going to the spot.
Yeah.
And like feeling like, oh, this is some corny shit or something, or like
pretty much, like, or you're somewhere and you see some enemies. Pretty much,
like
you're like,
not,
oh shit, it's about to go down. And I'm like, okay, I got him. You got him. All right, y'all.
I'm peeping seeing who I'm gonna see. That's as honest as it gets.
Right?
But the funniest thing is, like, again, going back to this, like, some shit that people don't really know about. There's some slang that people don't really use that much no more. You know, seeing who I'm gonna steal.
Right. I mean, but it is coming back though. Like it always, it's a full circle, man.
I haven't heard that in so long, and I like how he used the other tense of it. You know, because he could have said who I'm a stool on.
Yeah.
But he says who I'm a steal on. Oh man, that made my day. Who is this? You know who that is?
That, I believe it might be Shaquille O'Real. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, possibly Shaquille O'Real. If it's wrong, correct us in the comments.
Right.
Started walking towards us, running his mouth, so we pushed through the crowd and knocked him down. Now everybody's causing a big old commotion. Shut down the function, here's the L nigga, hold it. Gang, suckers can't hang with us. Sometimes it could get dangerous. Some niggas pulled up, they must have been his partners. Went to the trunk, came back with a chopper.
Hey, I got a pot. Whoever this motherfucker is, I like this dude.
Yeah.
Because I feel like he's got it to a T.
Right.
I mean, this shit right here very well could be Spice One. That's how good it is.
Right.
That's how classic it sounds.
Yeah.
He literally sounds like Spice One.
I think these guys are definitely, you know, children of that time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And,
I mean, you could take that verse and take out a Spice One verse from the 187 Proof album and put that in it, and you wouldn't even know. That's how on point it is.
Yeah,
to me when I'm hearing it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I think this whole entire, you know, well, let's just run it.
All right, let's run it. It's only shit. We're already halfway through it.
About years when I walk in, seen a sucker lay down, missing one of his Timbs. Busted lips, broken limbs, but only one black eye, so I socked him again.
He said, "Tommy laid out with missing one of his limbs, busted lips, broken limbs."
He said, what he said? He said, so pretty much the last, this whole thing is a story.
Yeah. So let's go back, because I think we missed the transition.
Some niggas pulled up, they must have been his partners. Went to the trunk, came back with a chopper. Right about years when I walk in, seen a sucker lay down, missing one of his Timbs. Busted lips, broken limbs, but only one black eye, so I socked him again. Had to stop his homie.
So he was just laid out.
So the first dude said, you know, I walked in, I seen these cats, I'm like, fuck, all right, I'm peeping it out, all right, yeah, that's how it's gonna work. And he says the dude was talking shit from across the room, so they went and laid him down.
Yeah.
And he's like, then they went and grabbed the chopper, but the other homie was like, you know, right about then is when I walked in.
Yeah. So he sees the dude laid out, missing a shoe,
missing one of his
busted
shoes,
mouth, broken limbs. He's already fucked up.
Fucked up, but he only had one black eye though.
So I
got him one more.
That's fucking hilarious. I mean, there's an element of comedy to it too,
right?
You know, where it goes good with this kind of, because how do you take a party song and turn it into like a fight scene,
right?
Which is pretty genius,
yeah.
Because they're doing really good, because they're doing so good that even though it's fucked up what they're talking about, I'm having fun. I'm having a good time. You know? They're really, it's like one of them like mob movies where they go into this crazy massacre scene and they're playing like it goes mute and then there's just background music and it's like some love song. You ever seen movies like that?
Yeah.
And it's just crazy and like motherfuckers are just
like fucking Bronx Tale when they're doing the fucking bikers. Yeah. Some love shit in the back.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is party fight music, which is interesting enough because at
every
parties
party
there's always a fight.
Bring it back just a tad to the end.
Bust the move, busted lips, broken limbs, but only one black eye, so I socked him again. Had to stop his homie out, tried to bust the move. Fool tried to rush me, I guess they funkin' too. Skid him down, the buster left him on the floor. Outnumbered by the sucker, so I called my bro. Hopped in the whip, turned on the ignition. About to pull up, complete the mission. Knock shit down like demolition. Mortal Kombat, watch how I fish you. Anybody here that don't wanna die, leave or get left at the scene of the crime. Anybody here that don't wanna die, leave or get left at the scene of the crime. Now I Zulu, and that's how we do it in Seattle. Now I Zulu, and that's how they do it in Tacoma. All I'm trying to do is get knowledge. The suckers over there that ain't never been solid.
I actually want to pause it right there too because, I mean, that little thing, man, takes me back.
The little chant?
The little so that just takes me back to like,
speak on
like 6th grade.
Uh-huh.
You know, when we first moved to Tacoma and I was really introduced to a gang type environment because before then I came from Des Moines, Washington. Shit, back in 89, 90, there wasn't shit. I mean, probably now, you know, in Des Moines there's some shit popping off, but
it was a little bit different. It was more suburban.
Yeah, and I think maybe Pacific Highway always had some action, but where we were down a little bit closer to the water, there was nothing cracking. I mean, it was just clean and so going from there straight to fucking 31st and Portland Avenue was crazy to me. It was culture shock like a motherfucker, and every little kid was running around banging, and they all had little songs like that.
Right.
Yeah, I remember motherfuckers used to sing this shit. They would say, "Chitty chitty bang bang, hilltop crip gang, ha ha fooled you, Eastside Pyru," you know. but they'd all have like these little sing-song versions of their little gang shit.
Yeah.
So that shit brings me straight back to there, you know. But I mean, it's dope. I mean, they did a good job.
I'm signed with the drum and the thumb up against day one since you only live once. All I'm trying to do is kick knowledge. Suckers over there, they ain't never been solid. I'm signed with the drum and the thumb up against day one since you only live once.
It's definitely one of them shits that, like you said, like no matter what they're saying in there, it just feels good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You could not know what the fuck they're talking about.
Right.
Hey, but you know, be careful. Bumping this shit somewhere and somebody does know what they're talking about. You be down the street fucking, Sue, and somebody start on your tail like, hey, I just like this shit. I don't know what it is.
But I don't know. I think these days it's way, there's...
I mean, you know, I don't know. I'm not involved in that type of culture, so I don't really know what, you know.
The people that are buying the music are not.
Well, it's funny, man, because, I mean, speaking of people bringing, like, gang culture into a more, like, mainstream setting, I know this girl who, her kids, she had, like, 2 daughters or something like that, went to the YG concert. And they're not like that at all. Mm-hmm. But they got dressed up in their red to go.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, and I don't know. To me, it was, like, weird. I don't know. Just because I know a little bit more about it, I don't think I'd let my kids do that. You know, I would be like, "Hey, come on, man."
But I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like the newer generation is not. They're not tripping, man. You know,
which is cool.
It is cool.
Which is cool.
It's good.
I mean, actually, speaking about that, I'd seen. You might have seen it too, because I know you follow Quick on Instagram. Mm-hmm. I was watching one of his timeline stories, and he was somewhere in LA or whatever, and he was kicking it, and he was like. Talking about who was all there. They were playing dominoes on the porch and shit, just some regular old school shit. And he was like, yeah, this is something. And he's a Crip or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
And he goes, you know, we ain't tripping on that shit no more.
Nah.
You know, we ain't banging like that.
Survivors, man. You gotta run with the survivors.
But, I mean, I think it's, I like this song a lot.
It's a dope ass
I like
song,
this song.
man. It makes me feel good, man.
Yeah.
Like
it makes me feel good to want to sock somebody who's laid out and only got one motherfucking black eye.
They didn't do it right. They didn't do it right.
So I had to look, but the fucked up part is he got broken limbs. Like he's really fucked up.
He's done. They forgot to mark it.
So bing, 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 bing. Nah, that one was fresh. All right, let's go to the next one.
Are we doing the next one, or are we just doing the 2?
No, we'll do one more. Let's do one more.
What's the next one?
This one's called Bloodline.
Okay.
I think so on the last one you had what?
You had first what had to be, I think
Shaquille O'Real, if we're wrong, correct us.
And then Braze. And then
cause was there 4 on there?
I think there was like 4 or 5.
Yeah,
so
because they came in.
There was Braze, then there was Bricks. And then the last one was what's his name, man? He goes by L.
Okay.
I think so.
So that was dope. That one's called Kick Knowledge. Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about real quick. This whole thing kind of just will throw you off. Because I don't know why the song's called Kick Knowledge. And then they go, all I'm trying to do is kick knowledge. So I'm curious to know what that slang term means for them. Like, what do they mean by that? Like, all I'm trying to do is
just talking the truth, man. Kicking knowledge, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just telling the truth.
Oh, okay. All right, well, that makes sense, yeah. But I also like the fact that they didn't say college. You know what I mean? To rhyme with it, because that's like everybody in hip-hop rhymes knowledge with college ever since Run DMC.
Right.
And so he said suckers over there, something ain't never been solid. Yeah. So I thought that was a dope flip to rhyme college with solid. All right, let's go to Bloodline.
This is for my niggas, man. Fuck them other niggas.
Nigga, I'ma get mine. I'll be on the grind. Got that one time. You know I'm finna shine. It runs in my bloodline. It runs in my bloodline. It runs in my bloodline. It runs through my motherfucking bloodline. Crazy is your banging the what?
I like that fuck. fucking beat a lot.
The beat is filthy.
Hold on, because that intro throws you smooth the fuck off. I think you might have played me this instrumental at one point. This sounds familiar.
We actually listened to this on the last part that we did, because this is part of their older project.
Is it? Did we already review this?
Well,
fuck it. We'll bompilation.
Yeah, we're gonna bompilation it.
Hold on. Because right here, you don't know what.
Yeah. Could be some R&B shit.
Could have been house. I thought it might be techno. And then it comes in and you're like,
you got that hard bass.
Brace, this is for my niggas, man. Fuck them other niggas.
Nigga, I'ma get mine. Nigga, I'ma get mine. I'll be on the grind. That's that one time. That's that one time. You know I'm finna shine. You know I'm finna shine. It runs. It runs. It runs in my bloodline. It runs. It runs.
I really want to stop and give these guys some credit too, because I think one of their shining things that they have that a lot of these other guys that are doing this type of shit have is they're willing to do more. Like the last shit, the upbeat, the funky, the feel good.
Yeah.
But they're also like singing a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, they're thinking about melodies.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's just because they're Samoan, and Samoans for some reason are always hella good at singing.
Yeah.
But
but it's, I mean, it's because like they've always, I mean, from making music with them back in the day, and just like, you know, they've always been like, hey, I'm gonna sing the hook. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just part of them, and I don't know if it's because they know that's what people want to hear.
I mean, you know, it might even be an influence from, you know, I mean, I can't say for sure, but you know, the Samoan family's always gonna go to church, so there might be some church in there that they just came up with.
Yeah.
You know. But I mean, it just, because it adds an element that, I mean, you could, a lot of these other guys doing the same type of thing, but then the chorus comes in and it's just, it's more, or it's even more, like, it doesn't switch up at all.
Are we on?
Yeah, we're on.
Okay, so what we were trying to say was,
What was we saying?
is that they got that melody, that singing type of shit, and it's not always straight up like I'm singing, but they've got a melody. Yo, why you blowing smoke?
I thought it was smoke.
And my man's is face in there.
Hey, yo, your man's?
Disrespect to the people. Hey, my bad. My brother ain't got no manners, y'all.
No, I thought everybody smoked out here.
Not in my face, yo. All right, so let's just let's get back to the tune. This one's Bloodline. Love the beat. Love the chorus. Love the melody. So let's just recap again. I like the intro so much. Yeah.
Brace, this is for my niggas, man. Fuck them other niggas.
Nigga, I'ma get mine. Nigga, I'ma get mine. I'll be on the grind. I'll be on the grind. That's that one time. That's that one time. You know I'm finna shine. You know I'm finna shine. It runs. It runs. It runs in my bloodline. It runs. It runs. It runs in my bloodline. It runs. It runs. It runs in my bloodline. It runs. It runs. It runs through my motherfucking bloodline.
The crazy is your bang in the foot. How deep is your hood? I ain't show love. Play your own love. Chill strings in your chest, but you ain't gon' bust. Don't act the beer breaking, little nigga, what's up? Got me cherry strings in my motherfucking chest. Northwest 12-6, being active with us. 34-7, black and blood, nigga, what's up? Factor of the whole set. Respect, YG.
What up?
You had to come in hard on
This
that.
is a fucking. I guess that's the other thing too. Is like just compared to some of that other shit. Like I keep comparing it to these other artists that are kind of in that same vein. It's just whether it's party style or not. It's just higher energy.
Yeah.
Which you don't get, and I think you're right because of that drug culture element, that double cup, lean, whatever the fuck else, the pills these guys are popping. It's
down.
this type of music, you know.
Everybody, not everybody. I mean, even if you wanted to, like, you could hear sometimes, like, they're up. Shit is still down a little bit. You know, it's like Down syndrome up.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
right,
Like these guys got. You can feel their energy when he's talking.
It's like it's like when they're it's like when he's rapping like you're about to get your ass whooped. Like when you talk to somebody when you're about to get them up, you're not like, what's up with that?
But it also, you gotta. I think there's a comparison that you made a while ago, like when King was bumping. What's his name, man? Two Phones. What's his name? Kevin Gates.
Oh yeah.
And you were like, you can hear the prison, like he was locked up and he had some shit to say.
Right.
And you could hear like even the melody because there's no beats in there.
Right.
And I mean, you know, there's plenty of these guys who've done their time in there, and I'm sure that, you know, they got a lot of shit from that time to really go in on too. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I think, you know, the littler that you have, the more creative you have to get. You know, and I think these guys also come from an era of like a cipher era.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like sitting in a circle.
You've rapped with these guys before.
I mean, I have, but I'm acting like I don't know.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm like, no,
yeah,
for sure.
So I mean, they have that you can tell that they're used to sitting in a circle, standing in a circle, sharing. You know what I mean? And also probably doing shit with no beats at all. Someone beatboxes, someone hums, someone does the bass line type of shit. Because we used to do that shit all day. I was always, you know, and then somebody would be like, boom, 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 boom. And then someone would be like, boom, 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 boom. You know, and we put together a whole beat. And I know I know you guys have done this shit before. So, and that adds another element too. If you've never done shit like that, you know, it's like all these old memes, like, there's like a meme that, and there's different variations of it where someone's like, some of you motherfuckers never had to, you know, make, you know, toast with cinnamon and sugar and it's starting to show. You know what I mean? Just old school shit you've never done. Yeah. You've had like a quote unquote privileged life because you were born in, you know, 1999. So by the time you're 5 years old, you know, iPhones are already out or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean?
Like they got like something like it'll be a TV with a pair of pliers and say if you don't get this then you ain't.
Yeah.
You know.
Right. Then you don't know. And so whether or not everybody from this crew is that old, they obviously have been able to bring all those elements into it, which makes it just makes it stand out more to me.
Also, I know speaking from my personal, being the youngest brother, because he's one of the youngest brothers.
Who, this dude?
The one that's rapping right now. Like you want to be heard more than everybody else because you're the youngest, and you've always kind of been like, hold on, man, hold on, we're doing shit right now. You know what I mean? When you're the
so he's coming a little.
So he's like, okay, you guys are gonna hear me now.
Yeah, I got some shit to sizz at.
That's kind of how I feel too. Like, you know, I definitely, when I was into rap, I was always kind of trying to push it out more than anybody else. You know what I mean? Just like, you have to hear me type of shit.
Yeah. Yeah, he's about to whoop someone's ass. I'm scared. Sorry.
When stepping on, try to find a set. Seattle rain, damn, I leave a lovely mess. I believe this, don't have me breaking bloody shit. Respect the game, protect it, I ain't get your money instead. My appetite's to kill, I'm still hungry with the set. Forever on the shit, with the shit on the set. Remember me, young G, how could you forget? Never run to put it down, I'm from out west. Nigga, I'ma get mine, nigga, I'ma get mine. I'll be on the grind, I'll be on the grind. Does it one time, does it one time, you know I'm finna shine.
I like that part of the
It
I like that part. I don't know why I like that. Not necessarily what they say, but just the way that there's just so many elements to what they do that I like. You know, even if I wasn't in love with the music, there's just so many things that they put into it that I like. You know, because he could have easily just said, ducking one time, but he said ducking one time. You know what I mean?
You gotta know how to say it,
and
man. It's not what you say, it's how you say it.
It made it that much more fresher.
Yeah.
And there's just, and I think the other thing about the Samoan aspect is you get that, like, reggae vibe into it.
A little bit.
You see what I'm saying?
Tons of island.
That island flavor.
Yeah.
Because no one else would have said, ducking one time.
Yeah.
That was that, like, reggae influence, that island flavor in there that nobody else would have done. Everybody just would have said, I'm gonna get mine, ducking one time. And it would have been cool, but it adds some spice to it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, look, man, I can eat an egg and cheese sandwich. It's gonna be good. But if somebody gives it to you and puts a little salt and pea and some hot sauce on it, it's like, oh, this shit's crack. You know? And I think they got the spices that other people may not have. So I'm a big fan of that shit.
It runs through my bloodline, it runs through my bloodline, it runs through my bloodline, it runs through my motherfucking bloodline. I'm tugging on the grind, we push a hard line. Never in the back, boy, I'm in the front line. Ducking one time, it runs in my bloodline. I live a real nigga life, you don't want mine. Little ghetto kid moving with the metal stick. Raining shots to the side, it was everything. You knew the opposite, my nigga, we don't fuck with those. I'm from the Mafias, try for the set though. Rats watching, I'm back mobbing, no option. You pull a block and hell nah, I ain't pocket watching. Jacking and robbing, here we macking the mob. Came from the bottom like nigga, don't ain't no problem. And my ears gon' get him up, my bloodline is thick, bro. My young homie still lit, bro. Break the bricks with the head, blood. Hop out on the bitch, nigga, like, yeah, you done lit, nigga. Bounce out with the shit, give a fuck about the second life. Nigga, I'ma get mine, nigga, I'ma get mine.
I like that verse. He did some patterns and shit in there. Trying to flip a little game. I like where he said something about macking and mobbing.
Macking and mobbing, yeah.
You know, and to me, you just don't hear a lot of that type of language anymore. So you said it's probably coming back because everything comes full circle, but
I mean, they were definitely there to hear that shit when it was around too, you know, whether it was the first or second time.
Yeah, generation. Well, they got older people, you know, this conglomerate, so to speak, of people runs the age gamut. So you got probably, who's the youngest, would you say?
In age?
Yeah. Like the first dude.
24-ish.
Do you think is the youngest?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Maybe like 22, 21, 22.
I was thinking they had some teenagers in there maybe.
Not on these cuts. I know there's some babies, but all the those guys are getting grown up.
And then Blaze, who makes the beats, is Braze is what?
It's got to be my age, maybe a year older.
So he's tapping into 30 already. Yeah, man, I like this. Let's just get that outro real quick.
I'll be on the grind, I'll be on the grind. Done it one time, you know I'm finna shine, you know I'm finna shine. It runs through my bloodline. It runs through my bloodline. It runs through my bloodline. It runs through my motherfucking bloodline.
Yeah, shit, I'm a fan.
It's good stuff. Hey, one of my favorite lines out of that last verse though, he said, pull up on a sucker and hop out like, yeah, homie, you the lick. Something like that. That shit was fun. I like that shit, man.
I'm gonna say, for coming from somebody who doesn't necessarily even fuck with that kind of music 100%, I think they've nailed it down dope enough to where even if you don't fuck with it, you can fuck with it.
Yeah.
You know, I remember one time way back in the day, I was on the bus in Tacoma, and there was some old school OG Crip dude. I mean, he had braids with the fucking blue, you know,
the balls,
the little balls. I mean, everything. You know, what I mean, he was like head to toe, just everything. And him and some other dude were chopping it up about music, and they started talking about East Coast shit. And so, of course, I wanted to tune in when they were talking about that. And the Crip dude was like, yeah, I don't really fuck with no East Coast shit. I don't really like that shit. He goes, but if there is one group that I like from the East Coast, it would be MOP.
Okay.
Which I thought was hella interesting that he said that. And he said because I like MOP because they're on some gangster shit. You know what I mean? So to him, they had more of a flavor that he could fuck with, even though it was a different style.
Yeah.
And to me, like, I think, man, these guys are so good at what they do with the melodies and the beats and the feel good aspect of it, the up tempo aspect of it, that really, like you said, you might not even necessarily know what they're talking about or prescribe to what they're talking about, but you still can have a good time listening to it, you know?
They're on some, like, it's a universal sound, you know? Everybody can get a piece of it.
I think like some of the latest, and you all can shame me if I'm wrong, but some of the latest quote unquote gangster shit that I've gotten into was that G Perico.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why I like him.
He's got a good old school sound.
He does, and he's good at it, and it's more. I don't know. Some of these guys, like, it's like they're good, but they're boring. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like, these motherfuckers are good, but it's boring. I
They're
could
just telling the same story that's been told 100 times before.
And it's like it's monotone to the whole thing.
Right.
There's nothing to it. You've heard one song, you've heard them all.
Right.
And they put out so much fucking music. It's like, Jesus Christ, how long can you fucking do it? And like, whoever loves it, it's just like, I don't know. I guess you got to be on what they're on. Whatever.
You got to be on it, man.
You got to be on it. So. I mean, and that's not that I'm hating on anybody. Shout out to everybody doing their thing. There's room in hip hop for all of us, and you guys obviously have your fans because you're doing great. You know, King was playing me some shit from some dude who chopped did, I forget the dude's name, but he went to London and was doing some shit with some London dudes.
From out here?
No, from the Bay Area.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, talking about these guys, down since day one, $$.D.1 on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
That wasn't a particular project. That was just 3 different songs. So just to recap, the first song was Last One's Left.
Yeah.
Second one was Kick Knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Third one was Bloodline. And these guys are from
Seattle, Washington.
Seattle, Washington, specifically what? West Seattle.
West Seattle, a little bit of SeaTac in there for sure.
Okay.
I mean, you know how it is when you live out here. You live a little bit here, you live a little
Yeah.
bit there, but you know, definitely headquartered over there in SeaTac, I guess, is where they you know, Trek 417 knows.
Okay.
They claim
Okay.
so.
All right, yeah, man, that wraps that up. So you know what I mean. Until next time,
Check these guys out.
check them out. They got a gang of shit.
Hey,
up
look,
there.
when the sun starts coming out, you're gonna want to hear some of that feel good shit again. So
And
this
I'm
is
gonna-
definitely and the other ones too got a whole lot of good bounce to it. I mean, man,
I'm gonna end it off on this one. 'Cause
Yeah.
this one, you know, we got the sun shining in. Leaving off.
All I'm trying to do is kick knowledge. Suckers over there, they ain't never been solid. I'm flying with the drum and the thumb. Up and down since day one, since you only live once. Chilling at a house party, me and my bro.